In New York, if I hear the word busy one more time, I believe I'm going to eliminate it from my vocabulary. Every time you ask your friends, your business associates, how have you been? Oh, busy like crazy. What I do see in Miami, people are busy making money and being happy, but they don't talk about how busy they are, which I think mentally, I would say Miami gave me the understanding that it's how we project ourselves to the world.
Hello everyone, my name is Anca, as you already know, and today I have here with me two beautiful ladies that are going to tell you something quite interesting about Miami market, buying, selling, and actually being here all together. I promise you, this is not going to be a boring conversation. First of all, because we have Vivi from New York here, that's going to make it entertaining, and also because we have some tips and tricks for you, the ones that are afraid of purchasing, not just in Miami, but maybe in any other part of South Florida. We really have some great news. You want to talk a little bit about yourself?
Sure. So I am a brand strategist that just moved here from New York City after 22 years in New York working with high-end fashion brands like Versace, Dolce & Gabbana for over a decade, a couple of years in Silicon Valley in tech. Here I am in Miami. I bought my first condo in Miami. I say my first because I have big plans with Anca and with Maria. And I'm very delighted to be here. I feel like I just started a new lifestyle, a new life. So super happy.
Welcome to Miami.
Exactly. And Maria, tell us a little bit about you.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I'm super excited and happy to be in the middle of these wonderful ladies. My name is Maria Reinhart and I'm the branch manager at PRMG, and I help homeowners with their dream of homeownership.
So Virgilia, tell me, how do you feel here in Miami? Do you see any difference in like how you vibe, how you move, how you interact with people?
Well, first of all, I have to say that it took me literally one day to get adjusted to my new city. The next day I arrived here exactly 3 weeks ago, and I would say what I do love, first of all, the weather in Miami, and there's an energy about the city, it calms me down. I have so much passion for this new city of mine. I want to create great business relationships, but I want to create friendships as well, because life is about relationships, and building relationships is an art.
Yes, it is.
And the art starts with a big smile and with being welcome, and that's how I feel about Miami. I feel very welcome here and happy, and my skin feels great, no more dryness, and there's sunny, it's sun around me, so I'm very happy.
Well, we do know that sun part, it's not that she doesn't like New York. You've been in New York for what?
22 years.
22 years. I mean, I'm sure New York has a special place in your heart. It's just that through comparison, you find that this place right now fits you better, and you would probably tell other people to give it a try, isn't it?
I would absolutely say so. And I also believe that in life, when you want to take yourself to a new level of excellence, professionally, personally, change is healthy. Yes. I believe when you look, people who travel the world or lived in different countries, they have a very interesting perspective. You look at the world and people to a different lens. And my goal in life is to be able to understand people without being judgmental, because we hear people are being put in boxes left and right. Oh, if you go to Miami, people have, I don't know what work ethic. You go to New York.
Right.
The truth is, people are people, and we decide who's going to be in our life or not, again, professionally and personally. So I would throw away all the boxes, keep an open mind, and understand that change is healthy, change is good, change can change your life.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I agree. And you're not from here either. You've been here for some while now, so maybe you want to tell us a little bit of your story, so we know how to kind of
I adjust. Well, I absolutely love Miami as well. I'm from South America, from Bolivia, and I moved here when I was 20 years old. I lived in Orlando. Orlando is a beautiful city, completely different than Miami. More family oriented and more conservative. Miami is just a different animal, I would say. It's a different crowd. People are more aggressive, more business driven, I feel like. And I've been here for 10 years and I love it. I lived in between in Pennsylvania for 2 years, and the cold, I'm
you
not.
Couldn't take it.
No,
you couldn't stand it.
No, I'm okay going to New York for a weekend and then Miami back, and when it's winter there and snowing and we're here in the 60s and 70s, can't compare. So I love it. I love Miami.
And talking a little bit about busyness and how she feels like she's not as busy here, guess where she moved? in one of the busiest places in Miami.
Yes.
But it's not that kind of busy that we're used to. It's a different type of busy,
Yes.
right? So you want to talk a little bit about your special place in Miami,
Sure. So I live in Brickell,
right?
in a beautiful building with great amenities, and it's interesting how the interaction changes your perspective and the way you build business, right? In New York, it's just that constant drive. You just race towards something, and sometimes you lose track of what you are racing towards. And I should say that success starts with a peace of mind and with having a very straightforward approach to work. And when you're in a position to being very stressed and you don't even understand where the stress is coming from, just because people around you are very stressed themselves, then you don't operate at your best. And funny enough, so I've been here for 3 weeks, I'm making so many connections. We have a big event coming this Wednesday at Baccarat. We have another one that I got invited to be a speaker at in Palm Beach. Things happen very fast here. Just people don't put that pressure on you, which is, it's a very interesting dynamic because there's so much success in Miami. And I told that back to my friends in New York. I said, listen, people are busy making money here. There's a lot of success around us. And you can see it. And of course, it's fake success and real success.
Of course, but we're talking about the real deal.
The real deal. But we were just in my building, right? We connected with a young entrepreneur and we were mesmerized that we are actually working on something,
Yes.
right? With a gentleman in investments. So I believe staying very open-minded and also paying attention to every encounter. I believe in New York, we sometimes miss on the greatest people because we just rush and we think, oh, this person is not, I don't know who this person is. Really take the time to invest in relationships, get to know people. Don't be misled by what people are wearing or what are they driving, because some of the most successful people, quite frankly, sometimes they wear flip-flops here in Miami.
Yes,
So-
especially
Especially in Miami. They're
Yes,
so low
right?
key.
Very low key, but I would say just be very mindful. Let go of the idea that you have to be busy and stressed in order to be productive. It's actually counterproductive. So what I do love about Miami is that people are more at ease and at peace, but they are still busy building successful ventures. So
Yes.
Exactly. So kind of trying to, because this interview was just done in a split second. We just decided that talking to each other, we decided, okay, we need to talk about your experience, because I feel like this shouldn't be just that, okay, you know, you have to buy your house, stop renting because you're wasting your money. It has to be a little bit about change, about taking the step towards the change, and the people that can help you and accommodate the entire, you know, your entire family if you're coming with a family, so that these things end up being seamless.
I think that having the right people next to you is
Yeah.
is the key to adjust. And then you're being here 3 weeks and you feel like like you talk about like if you were here forever already. Like,
Right.
But-
She wanted it so much also, and you know, she's an impulsive person, but the good impulsiveness, you know, she's going like we tend to say it sometimes in Spanish, al frente, meaning take over the world. If she decides something, she just goes for it, and she looked for the right people. And Maria, maybe you can tell us a little bit on how easy it is to buy here, or how complicated it is, and how you felt about that process, basically.
Yeah, I mean, as easy as, and you know, I mean, you have to be ready, and it just depends. Like I always say, we have to check your credit, your income, your assets, what type of property you're looking to buy, and then get you ready. You know, put some numbers together. As long as you're comfortable with your mortgage payment, and you have the funds. I take clients. I mean, they don't realize that the first, last, and security deposit could be their down payment. Especially now in Miami, and sometimes they're asking you for 4, you know, first, last, and 2 deposits.
Right.
So that could be their down payment. I mean, whenever I talk to clients, they're like, oh my God, I didn't realize that I actually can rent versus own, because nowadays the rent is so high that it's definitely worth buying instead of renting. Yeah.
Exactly. I know you were trying to get a loan, maybe a little bit more, not as confirming as the other loans that we know. And when I say that, she was thinking that in the beginning that you won't be able to get a loan because of how you structured your entire financial.
My company
Exactly.
has been, my new company has been in its inception for a year. And I was just concerned, you know, because again, we do have the the wrong information. We think the bank is not gonna give me even fun enough. You can have a very powerful cash cushion in your bank account and they still deny you the loan. And I think my fear was, okay, I just started my new company during pandemic. It was still pandemic,
right?
About a year ago. Who's gonna give me a loan based on what criteria, right? I said, what if I just put, I don't know, if I buy, let's say I put 60% down payment on my home, and then I thought, should I put that much cash, right? So there are so many different elements that factor in. There's fear, of course. I do not have family, so I bought the apartment on my own. There were so many different elements that made me take a seat back. But then, holistically, when I looked at how much it would cost to rent, I said, you know what, I just have whatever it takes. And this is actually my song, one of my favorite theme songs is Whatever It Takes. And that's how I got to you and to other people. And I think you mentioned to me there are options when you're very new in the business, right? So we have to stop being, again, discouraged because we think we know. We don't know.
Right.
There are so many opportunities out there to work around, right? There's a system that allows us to utilize what we have, the funding, to secure a home of our dreams, but we have to know the system. And in order to know the system, we come to people like you and Maria, who are experts in understanding what they can do. It's very, Anca, you tell me, it's very custom, highly customized.
Yes.
The approach of buying a home, one particular person can make the same amount of money with another, and there are so many different elements, right? It's very different case by case.
It is. We're all working together, and me and Maria can be very creative within the boundaries of the law, trying to make sure that we're adding all the components so that you can get the loan. Okay, this of course you have to do your part, right? We can't do magic,
Right.
But just to give you an idea, did you know you can buy a condominium here with as little as 3% down? Would you like to tell them a little bit about it?
I'm
Absolutely.
shocked. I didn't even know that's possible. I thought it's 10% minimum, no?
Yeah, no, it's so if you buy it as a primary home, it's 3% down payment, as long as the building has at least 10% reserves and everything is in order. And here, I mean, my bank has over 800 buildings already approved that we've done. And if the building, let's say that you're looking to buy is not, I mean, we can always look at the budget and see if we can get them approved.
Right.
But a lot of people have the misconception because if they go to big banks, they don't want to take the little effort to review the condo docs.
Exactly.
And they're like automatically 25%, so they're out. And then when they come to us, they're like, well, I haven't purchased a home or a condo because I'm saving money. How long is it gonna take you to save $100,000? You know?
Right.
Or $50,000 on someone that makes $100,000. I mean, it's very hard. So if you can buy it with 3%, why not?
Right. So this
is free money, cheap.
It's free money. Yeah. This is what we do for a living, and I really wanted to be here today. And even though I personally wasn't really prepared with probably all the questions that one must have when we have a conversation in regards to buying or selling, I feel like this is important because it's genuine, and I feel like you spoke with your heart. At the end of the day, you were really open and transparent. And she has her own business, and imagine moving from one city to another, she did bring her followers with her, but she has to adapt, she has to rebrand, because this is what you're doing. You wanna just mention a little bit about it?
Sure. I mean, it's it was intimidating, of course, a strong intimidating factor, thinking that your customer base is in New York mainly. But what I did realize is that once I have the security of having my own place, and that's why I say successful business starts with a very healthy mindset. When you have that comfort level, now you think differently. And I cannot accentuate how much it helped me to think positively, the fact that I know that this place is mine, right? It's just so much love and joy I have every time I open that door, and I want everyone to experience that. We live in a society that consistently tells us if you don't have millions in the bank, you cannot have all those things. You do have access, but again, you have to take a strategic approach. There's a method of execution, and there are teams aligned. Exactly like in the branding work that I do, you have to have these three components in order for the outcome to be successful. But yes, I would say just coming to a new city, it takes a new strategic approach. The clients here perhaps are different in terms of the thinking process, the way they build their businesses. However, if you know what you're doing, if you have deep understanding of your field of work, knowledge is power. Exactly. We all know that, right? So nobody can deny when you sit down with someone that they know their things. So I would say I'm excited for what's to come. I'm excited to have friends and collaborators like yourself. And it's amazing, to have friends, but also people that you work with at the same time. Then work is even more valuable and fun. So
yes, me and Maria, we are here for long term. We're not just a quick deal. And the 30 days in which we're communicating, and that's about it. No, we want to have real people, strong relationships, and hopefully be able to all grow together.
Absolutely.
And become better at life.
Yeah, exactly. And help. Real estate is a way of creating wealth, right? So start small. Start with your primary home. Then that primary home becomes your investment, and then you move to another place. Or maybe you like living in a condo, then buy a multifamily, and then that rent. For us, I mean, we are not going to have pensions. We're not going to have Social Security. So if we don't create wealth now, and real estate is one of the easiest way and the fastest ways to create wealth, start with something. I believe that yes, your career, once you do it, you can be 80 years old, and I feel that I'm still going to do mortgages because I want to, not because I have to. And that's the key. I feel like we love what we do.
Right.
So for us, it's not work, right? Whenever you're talking about branding, it's not that you're like, oh my God, I'm going to get my paycheck because I'm talking about branding. No, it's like you can see it in your passion. Like you're not collecting a check because you're selling houses. You're helping your clients, your families. Then they call you again, then you list it, and then you rebuy it, So I have clients, the same thing. They're like, my son is looking to buy a house. I've been doing this for 20 years, so I'm like, oh my God, your son's already 20 years old. He's ready to buy, And I love it. I absolutely love it. So
I think it's amazing. And also the importance of surrounding yourself with like-minded individuals. People, you always say, I don't want to be the smartest person in the room. And in a discussion with you ladies last week, I started to think differently. I said, okay, so I have this apartment now, what's next? Refinance? Because after speaking with you, I just got a better understanding of what it entails. And number two, I was thinking, what is my next investment gonna be, right? But that's why I say knowledge is power. When you surround yourself with smart people, they inspire you, number one, and number two, they give you tips that you did not even think of, right? Sometimes when you're on your own with people who think small, you have the tendency to think small and limited, right? So I would say I'm just so delighted and excited to spend time with you because I feel like each time I'm starting to think about new possibilities.
Yes, absolutely. And you can feel the joy, the positivity, and the shyness, because this is how we feel today. Hopefully you can feel it through the cameras. And if you feel like this was a good conversation, I will encourage you to put some comments down. I will, of course, put the ladies' phone numbers and their Instagram so you can follow them there. Please feel free to send messages if you have any questions, whether it's branding or if it's mortgages, because this is why we're here. This is why we're doing it. If we cannot help you, for sure we're gonna find somebody that can help you. I'm pretty sure that we can make it happen. All right. Ciao, ciao.
Bye.